Warning, this podcast contains spoilers. Warning, this podcast contains spoilers.
Flash. Yeah.
Savior of the universe.
Pathetic earthlings. Who can save you now?
Flash! Savior of the universe!
Strange object imaged in the Imperial vortex.
Flash! You save every one of us!
Remove the Earthwoman. Prepare her for our pleasure.
Flash!
Don't kill him yet, Father. I want him.
He's another problem.
Go, Flash, go!
Flash!
Editor's note, I wanted to give everyone a heads up that I apologize for having this released in September instead of August. I really tried to get it done in August, but things happened, and it is what it is. Now, before I get to the show, I wanted to mention that Kristen Richard, she made the intro music for this podcast with a piano. She wanted me to mention that she enjoys Flash Gordon, and she thinks that, quote, Flash Gordon took a lot of chances that might have allowed for other franchises to be wacky, ridiculous, and fun, such as Superman 3. So, yeah, I don't disagree with her, really, but I don't know if people are ready for those chances. And I'm not a big fan of Superman 3, so that's another discussion for another day. Now, on to the show. Hello, hello, hello. This is Adolf, and I have with me the awesome Jake Jarvis.
Aw, thank you. That's a nice intro.
And I have the fantastic, the super duper new Jake.
Oh, that's sweet.
We're having these introductions that are fun because we're talking about Flash Gordon and the movie club movie, and it's quite a fabulous movie, so we have to have fabulous intros. I mean,
I'm not a savior of the universe, but sure.
So yeah, I know fabulous has got a real gay context, and this movie kind of looks kind of gay, but not in a bad way. I'm not against it. It's really flamboyant.
Yeah, there's all sorts of S&M chic and
Just weird. It's weird, the movie.
yeah.
So we're gonna do full spoilers for this. So you're warned now. We're gonna have to go into this, and this is a 40-year-old movie. So yeah, too bad.
If you haven't seen it yet, it's on you.
So Flash Gordon is based on a comic book character from the 30s. Now, he's still ongoing, but he's never been that popular compared to Marvel characters like Iron Man or...
In his heyday, he was far more popular.
Oh,
he was
yeah?
at one time, Alex Raymond, art was incredible. It started out as a newspaper strip, was extremely influential, extremely popular, became a series of very popular serials starring Buster Crabbe, and they are incredible. I recommend checking them out.
Okay. I'm corrected then. But I guess in popular culture now, most people don't know Flash Gordon. If you ask someone on the street,
he's all but forgotten except for this movie.
Yeah.
I mean, people know Superman, people know Batman, people know Spider-Man, people know now Iron Man, but Flash Gordon, if you ask people on the random street corner, do you know Flash Gordon? They won't know.
No,
They'll probably reference the Queen song, most likely, or this movie.
exactly. Yeah, they won't remember Alex Raymond's incredible art.
So this is based on the 1980 film. Now, this movie did not do that well in the box office, right?
No,
Nope.
better than it did, I guess. Like it
Porn
could've-
parody made a lot more money. Flash Gordon.
Yeah.
Everything has to have a poem parody, right? It's one of the rules of the internet, I think, right?
This was like the first ones, other than some of those Batman and Robin, real low budget things with John Holmes.
So, all right, we're gonna go over the movie, and first of all, what overall thoughts on the movie? I do a round robin, and then overall thoughts if this movie would look good in 3D. So, classy Jake, what are your overall thoughts on the movie?
This movie's gotten better with age, because when I saw this originally in the theaters, I absolutely hated it. Of course, I was in a mood that anything that reminded me of the 60s Batman show was no good to me. I was in that headspace. But when I revisited it about 20 years ago, I was like, wow, this is actually pretty fun in a camp sort of Rocky Horror sort of way.
Yeah.
There's a reason for that. You got a guy from Rocky Horror and the writer of the Batman TV show.
Exactly. And Dino De Laurentiis producing.
Yes.
Now, New Jake, what are your thoughts overall?
Man, it's a strange movie. It's bad in a good way, but it's also bad in a bad way. It's just it's very hard to talk about in a summarization. I just don't know. I just seen it for the first time a few hours ago, and I still don't know.
Yeah, but Timothy Dalton is incredibly cool.
Yeah.
He knows what movie he's in.
Oh, yeah. Timothy Dalton knows what he's doing. The director knows what he's doing. It's almost everyone else that I kind of don't know. It's a hard to talk about movie.
Yeah, it's hard to believe the director of Get Carter, the Michael Caine version, directed this. That's hard to get your head wrapped around.
Yeah.
All right, I'll go next. Yeah, I agree with you, Jake. This is the first time I've seen this, and I opted to just blindly buy it because it's cheaper. It's cheaper than to rent it.
Yeah.
I did the $35 4K Blu-ray. That's how dedicated I was back last year.
Wow.
So I watched this on Blu-ray, and it is really hard to describe because it is so flamboyant. It is so out there. It's just like, okay, did I like it? It's all right. Did I hate it? No, I didn't hate it enough to love. You know, it's not like Piranha 3D where it's so over the top that it's ridiculous, but it's not completely trash either. It's right in the. I kind of like it, but kind of. It's one thing I have to say. I watched this completely sober. I feel like I should have watched this drunk or high.
Yeah. Yeah. Yeah, that was the condition I was in when I revisited this the first time 20 years ago, and it was awesome. I watched it this time though, sober-ish.
For the second time, you know, you want to do that, but the first time you kind of gotta, whoa, what is I'm watching here? So
yeah,
it's okay. I don't hate it. Maybe I'll watch it, like it more on multiple viewings. I don't regret buying it. You know, whatever. It's not that expensive. It's a Blu-ray.
Yeah.
Anyway, Blu-rays make good drink coasters.
Now, would this movie work in 3D? New Jake?
No, it was the soft focus photography and the model work and everything. I think it would look dismal and very flat in 3D. The matte paintings wouldn't work for it either. Just
and this was lit for TV. I mean, this was lit just like the Batman 60 series, and it does. When I hit convert button, when I watch it on TV on my 3D TV, it doesn't look good in 3D. So I imagine this wouldn't either.
Yeah, if it did, it would be like a cardboard cutout, most likely, is what I'd imagine.
Yeah, because the way it's lit.
Yeah.
I definitely think there's a couple of scenes here and there that could have worked, but I think this is the kind of movie that they needed to be filmed in 3D because you can't post-convert this. You needed to really think about how you do the shots. There's like some shots in the jungle, like, oh, okay, cool. The different foliage layers would have been cool in 3D. You know, with the hawk people. I guess there's women Hawkmen and Hawkwomen. I don't know. Mostly Hawkmen that we see. Hawk people.
Yeah, Brian Blessed is he was awesome
He
too in
was
this.
fun in that movie. Like one of the best parts.
Yep.
When they're like flying toward the screen, that might look cool in 3D. The depth and stuff, and but yeah, it's kind of hard because like there's not that many. There's some establishing shots here and there that could look cool in 3D, but some I think it would have been kind of weak unless they actually filmed it in 3D. Usually, I'm fine with movies that are converted, but I think it would take a lot of work to convert this to make it look great in 3D.
And I
It
don't think anybody would spend the money.
Yeah, yeah, it costs a lot more money than they'll make to to release this in 3D.
Yeah.
and it's unwarranted.
Yeah, exactly. I don't think it would add to the experience.
I mean, that one fight scene with the whip might be cool in 3D with the whip coming out and maybe, whenever he falls and you see the depth there. But overall, I think it would have been kind of weak.
Yeah, it would have been terrible.
So, what is this movie about? Let's get into the plot.
About maybe 20 minutes too long.
Yeah, it does feel long, and it does kind of... It's all over the place. So you follow... It starts off with Ming talking to the camera, or a minion of Ming talking, and like, oh, let's play with these humans on Earth. And they start doing, apparently, he has control over natural disasters, and he starts doing them. And it's like, damn, this guy's powerful.
Yeah.
He's like, it's like you playing SimCity. You could make a disaster if you want.
Yeah, it's in a video game in God mode.
Yes. Ming the merciless.
Yeah, and I thought they were really smart. The way they handled Ming, they removed kind of all the racial stuff about him.
Yeah.
Is it though? Isn't it the racist though?
I mean, yeah, it kind of looks like they put.
Yeah, the name. They should have changed the name.
Yeah, not have Max von Sydow play him, but even though he's great in the role, it's just...
He did a great impersonation of Christopher Plummer.
Yeah.
Here are some fun things to know about Flash Gordon. I'm going to ask you, New Jake. So, did you know these things about Flash Gordon? He is the savior of the universe.
Yes, I did.
Did you know that he'll save every one of us?
No, I didn't know that.
I would have to see that to believe it.
Do you know that he's a miracle?
Damn. He's like Jesus, man. On Jesus.
You know that he's king of the impossible.
I won't go that far.
Yeah, I thought that was impossible.
And do you know that he's for every one of us?
Maybe. Not being the merciless, that's for damn sure.
We're getting a little sexual here, aren't we?
So do you know what I'm talking about here?
The Queen theme song.
Yeah, that's a big part of this movie is the Queen theme because it's all over this movie. It's in the intro. It plays
a couple other Queen songs in here. I mean, if you got to see a sci-fi movie with Queen, though, I recommend Giorgio Moroder's version of Metropolis.
One more thing, New Jack. Did you know when he was in high school, he got 4 touchdowns in 1 football game?
That sounds like Al Bundy, but okay. Al Bundy to save the universe with no ma'am.
Yeah.
Now, it is Al Bundy, but I'll give you that. But Flash Gordon is a football player in this movie.
Yep.
My segues are amazing, aren't they?
Mwah.
So, originally, he was in the comics. He was not a football player. He was a rugby player, right? Or another sport, or no?
Yeah, and he's played different sports in different versions. Or he's been an adventurer.
Yeah, polo or rugby.
Croquet.
croquet.
Um,
Making him into a football player makes sense.
Yeah. All-American hero.
Yeah.
But what's his real first name? Because they don't say it. They just refer to him as Flash or Gordon.
I think that is his real name.
Comics always called it Flash Gordon.
Okay.
I mean, there's that character in the Spider-Man that's called Flash. I think it's just some people.
And the name comes from Flash Gordon. It's a tribute.
Huh.
So yeah, I think some people back in the day just used to call themselves Flash for some reason.
Because that means you're fast.
Yeah.
Anyway, so yeah, the Queen theme is a big part of this movie, and football, unfortunately, is like really dumb, but part of this movie too. No. Okay, I'm not getting against NFL football, but how they use football in the story of this movie is really dumb. That's
It's like, tell me you know nothing about football without saying you know nothing about football.
Dino De Laurentiis got it. And
Exactly. He answered that question perfectly.
Yeah.
So, okay, Flash is like here waiting for a plane with this reporter woman, and there's like these natural disasters happening, and the plane crashes, and it's giving you the basic plot overview here, people. And you meet that there's this scientist guy and his gentleman helper assistant, and he's like, "Oh, I know what this is. NASA doesn't believe it, but it is actually aliens."
Yeah. He came to that really fast.
I've been studying this for years, and I made my own rocket, and I need you to help me get in this rocket and fly it up. And I made the rocket specifically to have 2 people fly it. Just like, really? Why would you make a rocket in that way? But okay.
Movie's got to move.
Yeah. But then it fits 3 people just fine. I don't get it. I don't get it.
And Dale Arden is like in this movie. Dale Arden in the newspaper strip, she is one tough lady.
Yeah.
In this, she's basically a damsel in distress and really...
Yeah, like, oh, I tipped a nail. Oh, I twisted my ankle running in heels kind of shit.
Well, I mean, she does kind of do that sequence in that hallway where she's escaping and finds was his name Zarkov?
Yeah.
Yeah, and like, you know, she kind of shoots those screeching guards, which were kind of weird and annoying, but other than that, she was kind of damsel in distress.
Yeah, and Zarkov was miscast. Richard O'Brien should have played Zarkov.
Oh, I love Topol in this movie. He's one of my favorites.
He's awesome, but the thing is, Richard O'Brien looks like Zarkov and has a voice. Just looks like him.
Yeah.
So, okay. They crashes into the scientist's area and like, oh, let's get in the rocket. And then he tricks Flash and
Dale.
Yeah.
Into the rocket where they blast off and they're going to go up to space. And somehow the rocket works and he goes to outer space and into a wormhole, which is like, damn, what kind of advanced shit is this?
And his rocket, and without even taking into effect of gravity or anything, it doesn't crush through the wormhole.
Yeah, like, and the G-forces alone don't do, like, it's just so unrealistic. But I get what they're trying to do.
This is this is one of those movies that was supposed to come out in 1971, and without changing anything, they finally got the thing made in
80.
the late 1970s for 80 release.
Yeah.
So it was really dated.
Yeah.
But yeah, the whole idea that they have a rocket and then like you see, oh, he didn't pass the moon or anything. He passed all these other planets. It's like this whole galactic kind of. It's like, no, that's not how space works. So they were there for like minutes. I mean, I guess he has a warp drive and it's, Efren Cochran or something.
Yeah, this is basically the sci-fi version of Batman Forever.
Mm.
But yeah, it basically is like Efren Cochran on Star Trek, that he's able to go into a warp drive to go to the wormhole, which is like, apparently really close by. And Ming was like, "Oh, should we destroy them?" He's like, "No, let's let them land." And they land into this planet, and they don't like even get scared about breathing. They're just like, "Okay, we're on a new planet, sure."
Yeah.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Dale like instantly falls in love with Flash, and it's just like, come on,
Yeah.
not at all. Kind of,
They have zero chemistry.
yeah,
Yeah.
no
And
chemistry.
they aged really fast too. The offers to marry her, they don't even know each other.
Yeah.
This whole movie seems to kind of go in like maybe a couple days time frame.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, and Sam Jones can't act his way out of a paper bag.
Oh,
And he makes Tobey Maguire look like Laurence Olivier.
zing.
Yeah, and most of Sam Jones's dialogue was dubbed
Mm-hmm.
by another actor.
If you don't
Well,
know,
that's what you get when you're cast when Dina De Laurentiis' mother-in-law sees you on the dating game.
Yeah, exactly. And you cast somebody because you think they're hot.
Yeah.
so he's wearing a Flash T-shirt for half of this movie. So he wears a T-shirt with his own name on it.
There's a story behind this. I looked it up. It's because a fan gave it to him, and he's still trying to find the fan that gave it to him. That he wears it in dedication of him or her. I forget which, but that wasn't explained in the movie.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's just really weird that he's wearing khakis and a Flash T-shirt. It's like, okay.
Okay.
And like, Ming is like, okay, I'm going to introduce myself to everyone, and then like you get an introduction to Ming and how evil he is, and how like other planets have to worship him, and like Flash does not pay attention at all to how powerful he is.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And like, you see how crazy he is, and how much power he has over this other person, and you just ignore it and be like, "Oh, I don't care." And then he starts like playing football with like this orb and like tackling people, and just like, "Oh my god!"
I mean, Ming has the power to stop it, but he doesn't do anything except watch.
Yeah. He's a voyeur.
Yeah.
I mean, I kind of would want to watch. He's like, "What the hell is he doing?"
Yeah. What is this? What is this earthly custom?
Mm-hmm.
It's so trippy. It's so weird. These costumes.
Yeah, and this movie is just so lamely, overtly sexual, and it's so cringy. It's like you feel like you're being, you want to Me Too this movie.
Mm-hmm. I mean, because pretty much Ming is trying to get him drunk to date rape Dale Arden, and
Yeah.
and he has several concubines. I take it, so it is a little troublesome. And also the yellow face, even though he's not yellow face, there's still a little racial.
Yeah, there's definitely, with Ming the Merciless, there is a racial overtone. Even worse than the Mandarin.
Yeah, played by
It's a rip off.
Cito.
Yeah, Max von Sydow is Emperor Ming, and that is a racist caricature of Asian emperors. It's been around for a long time, and I haven't. This is the first time I've ever actually seen this on like actual movie screen I've seen, because it's so dated that it's gone out of fashion decades ago.
Yeah.
So yeah, this is very gaudy, very trippy, very costume design here is just like, wow.
Bad too, but it's also interesting at the same time.
Yeah, this has got that really bad kind of 70s S&M chic. And it's a lot of this was co-written by the creator of the Batman TV show, and it was trying to do that pop art thing that was way dated by the time this movie came out.
Oh, definitely.
Was not in that headspace. I mean, Patrick Nagel was who was popular, not Andy Warhol.
Yeah.
So Ming is like, okay, I'm gonna execute Flash. I'm done with you, and let's put him in the gas chamber. And it's like, damn, it's kind of a vicious way to kill him, but okay.
He legit dies. I mean, he legit dies. To be
Apparently, Ming's daughter is like, oh, Princess Aura, Orenia Mutia. I love Flash. I'm gonna bring him back to life with this magic thing. I was like, what? Okay.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
And Dale's gonna become a new wife of Ming because he needs more women. I don't know.
I guess he finds her sexy.
Yeah. He's got to throw some straight stuff in here so people won't suspect all the hunky, oiled up men.
I mean, I hate to say stereotype, but it's so gay.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not trying to hate.
This movie's gayer than Can't Stop the Music.
No, that's fair. That's so fair.
I mean, I'm not trying to hate. I have no problem with gay people. I have no problem with that. It's just, this is gay. This is a really gay movie.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, it is very homoerotic in a lot of sense.
And it's very much a pandering. It's almost insulting.
Yeah. I mean, it feels like Caligula in space almost in certain regards.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, but I said if you are into this type of thing, Flesh Gordon's better.
So yeah, this is so flamboyant, so extravagant, so out there, and just like, okay, movie, whatever. I didn't hate it. I just was like, okay, sure. I'm just on the ride. Yeah. Along with the ride and just trying to see what's going on. You know, the costumes are awful, but they're awful awesome at the same time.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm like, why isn't America cosplaying this at Comic-Con?
I mean, it looks like Comic-Con kind of costumes,
Yeah.
the bad ones.
Yeah. And this was a fairly sizable budgeted movie. It was, you know.
Yeah, I think the money went for cocaine. It was hell didn't show up on the screen.
Yeah. It's like the set design, like certain scenes, it just looked like they hung something from the rafters and called it a set. It's just, where did the money go?
Yeah.
So yeah, it's so out there and gaudy, and like, so Flash gets resurrected by the princess, and then he's like, oh, I need to go to other planets to recruit, make like a Justice League kind of thing, and we're all gonna fight Ming together, which is like, did you not pay attention? He just killed you.
Yeah. Well, if we teamwork, we could defeat it.
I was like, no, you can't.
Yeah.
I was like, no.
I mean, does anybody else find it strange that like during that football scene they had like all those people from the different parts of Mongo, but they only recruited 2 races, the Timothy Dalton one and the bird people. They didn't get anybody else to help in the battle.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah, I guess that's due to the budget. I don't know.
The Hawkmen. The Hawkmen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The Hawk people, the which it's kind of
whatever.
Rick and Morty has kind of ruined me on Hawk people.
Yeah, I think that was a direct influence of that Hawk person.
Yup. Hey, Hawkman was ripped off from this.
I mean, fair, yeah. I mean, Flash Gordon was like the early.
Actually, almost all sci-fi of this from in comics and newspaper strips, they were all ripped off of Buck Rogers.
Oh, yeah.
Flash Gordon became wildly popular, even more popular than Buck Rogers.
Oh, yeah.
And that was because of Alex Raymond's art. He was like the Alex Ross of his day.
Yeah.
One of our patrons said this is decadent, and it's like, oh yeah, it's decadent.
Yeah. Yeah.
To the extreme.
Yeah. Well, not too extreme. I mean, there's not nudity and erections and penetration shots, but that's what you got Flash Gordon for.
Yeah, I mean, this was a PG-rated movie in 1980, and
Yeah.
kind of
hmm And yeah, this is Dino De Laurentiis at his most extravagant.
yes,
And there's the scene where he dies. They have to get him naked for some reason, which is it's in the underwear. It's like so weird. It's like so like okay, let's do opposite races sexism and have him be naked and be in his underwear to get to die. It's like so weird.
I
Yeah.
mean, you have somebody as I guess sexy as Sam J. Jones. You kind of want to show him off because he can't really do anything else.
Yep. hmm Exactly.
So yeah, they plan to get people, and Flash goes to the Hawk people planet. I don't know. I forgot the names of these planets because it's just like
Yeah.
okay, whatever.
Yeah, and I haven't read Flash Gordon in decades, so you're lucky I remember the names of the main characters.
So like they're doing a test with this young boy, I guess youngling, I guess is probably a better way of saying it, where he has to
Yeah.
put his arm in this thing, and then the thing has like a scorpion inside or something, and if the scorpion doesn't bite or sting you, then you won your manhood, or you finish.
And if it stings you, you die. And of
Yeah.
course, he gets and dies because they need to show that this is dangerous. So when Timothy Dalton and Sam Jones stick their arms in, you have a sense of tension.
Yeah.
It's just so weird. It's like, okay, it's such an arbitrary thing. It really feels like this is like some old school, oh, this is a culture from the, out there culture thing. Like, look
Things
how,
like screen pad time.
yeah, like, this is the kind of stuff that you would see from, oh, those savages do that kind of stuff to show that the guy is maturing out of adolescence. We don't do that here. It's kind of like a judgy kind of elitist kind of way judging.
Yeah. Uh-huh.
So yeah, he's like, oh, I need you help me to do this, and it's like, okay, I guess we could help. And then they go back, and you try to see that what is her name? Dale is trying to escape, and that they're trying to figure out what's happening with the professor, because the doctor here, oh, I'm gonna get brainwashed, but it's not brainwashed. And then this whole scene where he's trying to get brainwashed for some reason, I kind of got lost track of what the point was. Besides, I guess they're trying to get him to be part of the team of Ming.
I don't know why him. I guess maybe because he's smart, but then why wipe his genius away? Kind of makes no sense.
Yeah.
And that whole thing was like super 70s strip.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. And some of this stuff they ripped off from the first Flash Gordon serial, and they didn't rip in they left out all the explanations. They just kind of would borrow bits here and there with no context, and it's like, what the hell?
Yeah, what the hell are they doing to this guy? Trying to brainwash him.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And like he was like, oh yeah, I didn't get brainwashed because I was thinking of the Beatles. I was like, oh, shut up.
It's like
Yeah,
I thought of everything I knew, and that prevented me from getting brainwashed.
Yeah.
It's like, whatever, man, whatever. So yeah, this doctor and Dale are trying to fight to get through, and then Flash is like, oh yeah, we're gonna be here. And then Flash is with the Hawk guy, and then Ming forces him to fight on this like pedestal thing with these spikes coming up, and yeah, that action sequence is dumb.
Yeah.
Yeah. But it was cheap-ish.
Yeah. Even though they had a large budget.
Yeah. Which I'm sure went for cocaine.
It went for hair dye for Sam J. Jones.
Yeah. And probably shaving cream and razors, so everybody was all manscaped up for this movie.
Yeah.
Oh, correction. The Mr. Bingle 5 said opulent as a word for describing this movie.
Yeah,
Yeah.
that's a very good word to describe this movie.
um, so he did wanted us to mention a scene from Ted movie, and Ted 1 or Ted 2. Now, have you guys seen the Ted movies or no? With
Just one.
I have not seen Ted's movies, but
Okay.
go ahead and spoil them. I don't care.
So the Ted movie is from Seth MacFarlane about the teddy bear coming to life and how that is how someone who grew up with the actual teddy bear coming to life is. And I like Seth MacFarlane, generally speaking. Some things I like more. I got tired of Family Guy a long time ago, and I really love the Orville. I think Orville is awesome. Anyway, so this scene is with Ted and the guy character with him who actually get to meet Sam Jones as an adult. And they're like, oh my god, it's Flash Gordon. And they have like all these references to Flash Gordon. I kind of think it's kind of dumb fun because they're basically at a party and they're like, oh yeah, we're going to let's try cocaine. Let's try to have just have this big old party and like punch through walls, and it's just kind of silliness and fun. It's a good reference to Flash Gordon, and
Kind of recreates scenes from the movie, sort of.
yeah, there's like a scene where he's flying the rocket scooter. It's like, okay.
Yeah. Just a bad. Well, I mean, Ted's not a great movie.
Yeah, I really could not stand Ted 1. And like, nope, I'm not watching Ted 2.
People loved it. It was a huge hit. I don't know why, but I mean, Flash Gordon's a better movie than Ted, honestly.
Ooh. Oh yeah, we're laying down shade today.
Yeah.
So,
I mean, they're kind of self-referential in the Ted movie where Seth MacFarlane is the voice of Ted, the teddy bear, and it's like he actually says, "Oh yeah, I do sound like Family Guy, Peter Griffin," and it's like he Seth MacFarlane has more talent than he doesn't have to sound like Peter Griffin every time he wants. He could be other people, and but he's like that the whole Ted movie, and that sequence is funny, and how he draws Garfield on women's breasts, hilarious. I think that was actually legitimately funny, and I will never see Garfield the same way again.
but the movie's forgettable.
Yeah, movie's bad. Ted is bad. And the sequence with Flash Gordon is fun, and I did watch that on YouTube because our patron asked us to. But I was not going to rewatch Ted 1 or Ted 2 to see that sequence, and it's like a 4-minute sequence. You can watch it on YouTube. It's funny. Yeah. It might be like the highlight of the movie kind of thing. It's bad though. So getting back to Flash Gordon, so yeah, they're fighting, and then they're like, okay, we're gonna try to conquer Ming, and I don't really understand how he was able to conquer him. I just don't get it.
Yeah, especially with only 2 of the tribes actually fighting.
Yeah.
One,
yeah,
the Hawkmen were the really ones doing the fighting, and then you had Timothy Dalton just doing his thing on the ship.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they get the ships, and then they have the Hawk people fly in, and then they get shot down, and they keep flying in, and I just he has this scooter that he flies. I don't know.
Yeah,
the rocket scooter or rocket. I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the plot device that he rides.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
And somehow is able to get Dale to help him, and everything kind of works itself out, and it's so crazy. And this is when like they've been kind of teasing the whole Queen all through here, and then like to just pepper it into the songs and the movie, and it really feels like it's the Queen song as one huge ass music video.
Yeah, very
Eh,
music video.
you know, if you thought Thriller was a long music video, well, this is a music video for Queen.
But
That's nearly two. It's
good.
yeah. This and Metropolis are basically 2 hour long Queen music videos.
And yeah, they're able to fight and get and kill Ming, and like nothing's solved because okay, Ming's gone, but Flash Gordon is still in this area. He's not anywhere close to being Earth, and no one else. But now they're united, and like the Hawk people fly in unison to say thank you, Flash Gordon, and it's just like goofy, it's stupid.
Yeah, but it's kind of fun.
Yeah, it's fun.
Mhm. Yeah, it's laugh out loud unintentionally. I think I don't think that any intentional jokes will land.
No, I mean,
Not even sure if they're actually there, but it's
no.
got a hoot factor and a camp factor.
Oh yeah.
Sharknado is jealous to aspire to.
Yes.
So we know nothing about these characters.
No.
Yeah,
I mean, we know the names barely.
yeah, exactly.
Yeah, Flash Gordon is just a football guy, and that's it. We don't know anything about anything else going on. You know, he's a really good football player. The doctor, you know, the scientist guy, okay, he's a crazy scientist, but he's actually right on this conspiracy theory, and Ming is just evil. So everyone is just one note.
Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, the women are horny. Some are more horny than others.
Yeah.
Oh, they have that super potion that's super pleasurable. I was like, what the hell were they thinking with that?
Yeah.
Was a scientist a Nazi? Yeah.
No, I think he was Jewish, or at least his family was, because they escaped.
In the comic strip, he's Russian.
Okay.
Yeah, he's probably like Russian too.
He fled from Russia and was living in the States.
Yeah.
Those flashback scenes are just like, yeah, it's a lot of Nazi shit, man.
Yeah.
I seen a Fiddler on the Roof reference there. It kind of looked like.
Yeah, probably.
As Topol was Tevi in the play in the movie. So
Mm-hmm.
it
So
looked like.
yeah, it makes perfect sense.
Yeah.
You were absolutely correct. I would say it's a good call.
Yeah.
This is the kind of movie that if I give it a score, it would be like a negative 10 out of 10.
But in a good way.
In a good way. It's a 10 out of 10. A negative 10 out of 10. But hey.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm starting to think the so bad they're good movies. We should give them negative scores to show that yeah, it's crap, but it's awesome crap.
Yeah.
They say craptastic.
Craptacular.
Yeah, I mean, Sam J. Jones can act. The girl I really don't know about. Topol and Max von Sydow, really good actors, but
Yeah, Brian Blessed is awesome as the just walking around with those wings, just kind of flop, flop, flop.
Timothy Dalton, he's always energetic and really good actor. So whenever he's on screen,
He's incredible in this.
Yes.
Mm-hmm. Robert O'Brien has a nice little part in here. I wish he had played Zarkov, even though I like Topol. He's a really good actor. I like he was funny, but Richard O'Brien is he's just that character.
Yep. And he's not in the movie very long, and I am sadder because of that.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
That Hawkman personality was just like so basic. Like, oh, this is gonna be the ethnic cool guy. I like, you know, just I don't know. It's just like such a weird kind of personality that I can't. I like him. He's so gregarious. He's so out there. He's so I'm the Hawkman.
Yeah.
Oh, and if you want to see Sam Jones in another superhero movie, he was in the first Spirit movie, the one made for TV. He's actually better in that. But then again, maybe somebody better dubbed him. Just saying. But I didn't
Fair.
like it until I saw the Frank Miller Spirit movie. Then I learned a whole new appreciation for the Sam Jones version.
Yeah.
Sometimes it's have to see real crap to appreciate interesting crap.
Hmm. And this is interesting crap. I'll say that much.
Yeah, exactly. Hmm.
But I mean, I see where Taika Waititi's wanting to do Flash Gordon, so maybe this will make this.
Yeah, they keep going back and forth whether it's going to be animated or live action. I think that's because of the COVID situation.
Yeah, just make it live action and do it. Drop a lot of acid. Just make the movie Taika. Just do it.
Well, yeah, if you watch this, you can see where Taika got a lot of ideas for Ragnarok.
Oh, definitely the collars and everything. The
Yeah,
top.
and he took it to a whole other cooler place.
Yeah. I still don't like Thor Ragnarok that much. Maybe that's why, because it drew too much influence from this movie.
Yeah, most people I know don't like it. That's the reason why. It reminded us much of the 1980 Flash Gordon movie.
Yeah.
I mean, I really love the Ragnarok, and but I don't know. I'm so with this movie. It's I understand the novelty factor and the chicness of it, but I also like it's not that horrible to be,
It's an unintentional absurdist classic.
Yeah. You need a substance to enjoy the substance of the movie.
Or lack of substance in the movie.
I think if you are familiar with the Buster Crabbe versions of the serials or the films, condensed down from the serials, that you would gain a much more appreciation of the unintentional humor that's going on in here, because you would have a reference to what they're trying to reference and failing miserably at it.
Yeah.
Just imagine if they made a Thor movie like this. Like, not Ragnarok, but like this style back in the 80s and 70s.
I could see Chris Hemsworth.
Yeah, that would have been hilarious. That would have been funnier than the Thor in the Incredible Hulk movie with Daredevil. If you've seen those are eye rollers. You're like, oh my God, I can't believe they did this. I can't believe I'm watching this. Then you go, God, I hope it gets better because this sucks. I want good comic book stuff. Why did it just crap?
Was that the made-for-TV movies?
Yes.
Oh, Bill Bixby.
Yep.
No, this is like the example of where people say, well, you can't do that. It's a comic book movie. And then you're like, let's do it anyway. And they do it anyway. And this is what you get. This is not like trying to down it in real life, trying to make it more believable. No, this is going 100% to what the comic book was and just not caring about the audience and trying to...
They have no respect for the source material. They obviously look down on this newspaper strips that became a comic book, that became serials, and a lot of stuff in the pop art movement really looked down on what they were stealing from.
Yeah.
So it just feels like this is the kind of movie that they weren't trying to ground in any way, or trying to... They're just like, let's go extravagant, let's go crazy. In some ways, I guess because I didn't see this beforehand, it reminds me of a modern movie. Now, this movie is horribly bad. Do you guys know what movie I'm thinking about, or no?
I can't think of what you would be thinking about.
This reminds me of a Wachowski's sci-fi movie. I'm trying to remember the name.
Jupiter's Ascending or something.
Jupiter Ascending.
Yes,
I've never seen that movie.
It's terrible.
That reminds me of this a whole lot.
It's terrible.
Yep. Yeah, it's a drink coaster. If you buy it to see it in 3D, you'll watch it once and then you'll have a drink coaster.
Yeah, starring Mila Kunis, come out in 2015, and oh boy, it was bad.
I've seen Eddie Redmayne videos about like his villain character. Oh my God, it looks so bad.
Yeah, it's Gods of Egypt bad.
So yeah, Jupiter Ascending is really bad. It was interesting because that was one of the first movies. Like a coworker told me about getting free screenings. I was like, oh, cool! I want to get free screening. I don't want to pay to see this movie. And I go in the theater, and they had a 3D screening, but the 3D was off. And I actually complained to the management, and they're like, yeah, sorry about that. They didn't offer to give me a no ticket. I was like, oh, I don't want to see this movie again. I'm not watching this movie again in 3D. It's so terrible. I just know it's not worth watching. It's just bad. But Jupiter Ascending, Flash Gordon, they're the two of a fame. They're the two feathers of the same Hawkman outfits. And like those wings, they were just like props. They weren't like actually there to move or look like wings or behave in any way. They're just all right. They're just added to the costume, and
They're cosplayer wings.
Yeah.
so this is so out there, so weird, and it's ridiculously campy fun, but it's also bad.
Yeah. I mean, yet again, you got the guy who helped create the Batman TV series from the 60s and doesn't know the source material really well, obviously.
Yeah, and has no respect for it.
No.
And there was nobody to temper him like there was on the Batman show.
No.
There was no one to say, okay, this is too much.
Yeah.
Well, partially because rights holders of Flash Gordon King features didn't care. The creator of Flash Gordon was passed away, so there was nobody to say anything to stand up for the source material on the set, and it showed.
Yeah.
All right. I don't know what else to really say about this movie because it really there isn't that much to chew on. It's okay.
Yeah, it's this is if you're into absurdist camp, you're gonna love it. And if you're not, if you don't have patience for that, you're gonna hate it.
I mean, it's not the great absurdist camp like Rocky Horror or anything like that. This is just bad camp.
Yeah, this is just it's bad, but like I said, this is what Sharknado aspires to be.
I'd rather watch Sharknado, honestly, even though that was just made to be bad on purpose. But I'd rather watch that.
I still like this more because it's, and I hate this, and mostly it's because the Queen music works so well in this.
Yeah.
Now
it's kind of over the top and flashy like Queen.
Exactly.
This is a weird thing to say, but I'm gonna say it. I can imagine a whole nother universe where Flash Gordon becomes a huge franchise and Star Wars doesn't.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, heck, I think the only reason this thing got greenlit again after it'd been canceled several times is because of Star Wars.
Yeah. I mean, George Lucas was going to make a Flash Gordon movie, but they said no, so he made Star Wars.
Yeah, because they were going to make this. They weren't going to give him the rights to this or Buck Rogers.
Yep.
And then we wound up with a crappy Buck Rogers TV show. Don't even get me started. That is so far removed from the source material.
So yeah, this feels like that kind of cinema, but Star Wars, it works, where this, doesn't work.
No.
Yeah.
But you can also see how in another divergent timeline, this could have been what worked and Star Wars didn't work and Star Wars didn't get made and this became it and this became a huge series. It's so similar. Cousins.
Yeah. I think if this Flash Gordon movie had come out in like 1975, I think it would have been a massive hit.
Yeah.
And there probably wouldn't have been a Star Wars.
No.
Yeah, I think this being coming out in 1980, it feels like a 70s movie. It doesn't feel like an 80s movie.
When it came out. Yeah, it was dated when it came out.
Yeah.
If this would have come out in 1970 instead of 1980, I think you're right. I think this would have been totally up that alley, and it just, I feel bad that Queen was around in the 70s. So
yeah, Queen was around.
I mean, I would have gotten like Pink Floyd or something to make it even trippier, or I don't know, something equally similar with the prog rock. Maybe Yes could have done the soundtrack.
Yeah, there were all sorts of bands in that time period. You
Oh
could have
yeah,
had several of them. Heck, you could have got Giorgio Moroder to do
there
the
you go.
music. Yeah,
Yeah,
I mean, him and Queen. That would have been. Could you imagine that? That would have been awesome.
that would have been an electronica masterpiece.
Yeah, it's like also one of those things. Or the band Suicide, because
Yeah.
Moroder was supposed to do their second album until Rick Ocasek said, "Oh, I'll do it for free." So guess what? Guess who the label picked?
Yeah, free guy.
Yeah. Yeah. Oh well. or Moroder could have worked with Yes. That would have been insane.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess we'll thank everyone who did vote for this, because even if it's not a great movie and it's not necessarily something that's easy to talk about, it's a fun movie to watch.
It's a hoot. Everybody needs to see it once.
Yeah, I mean, it definitely needs something you could watch, and it's something to chew over, and it's a film school kind of thing. You could talk about this.
And if you like the comic strip and you want to see something closer to the Alex Raymond's intent, the Universal serials are a blast. Even the condensed versions are a blast, because Buster Crabbe is just so awesome as Flash Gordon.
So yeah, this is just like multiple things you could talk about this for like a movie, like saying, okay, the characters here all one note. The girl falls in love with the main lead out of nowhere. It's not chemistry there. You don't understand the powers of Ming, and you don't really, how does they get defeated? I don't really know. You'd think that if you can make earthquakes happen in another galaxy, that he's basically a god. How does a football player with no powers or abilities at all, I don't care if he makes a team.
Man.
No.
It's the team. The powers of the NFL. It's the points.
Yeah.
So it's not at all believable, and it's just like, okay.
Yeah.
It feels like a prototype for the Masters of the Universe movie a few years later.
Yes, that too.
Yes. Oh God, yes. Now I think we've got the double feature.
Oh, what have I done? Oh man.
There's probably some guy in a Apple Draft House that's like, yes.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
And you could have people cosplay and be like totally gay.
Yeah.
Totally.
It's not just Rocky Horror anymore.
Yeah. And just have those S&M and just like have the wing people, and have the music playing super high, when the Flash Gordon theme goes, and both of these movies are real cousins, and they're brothers in arms, and it's a weird out there kind of movie. I watched this Saturday morning with a big tub of popcorn, and I was like, for what it is, it's fun. But it's just stupid.
Are you sure it wasn't THC gummies by any chance?
No.
Maybe next time.
Now I admit there was a bong that was lit and it got puffed on several times watching this.
It was purely tobacco, right?
Well, I am in Oregon, so I'll let you.
Imagination can run wild of what substance that was.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah,
And burger.
here may not be legal in your jurisdiction.
It might have been.
Yes.
Yeah.
It might have been the spice from Dune.
Yeah.
The flow.
Yeah.
So much Flash Gordon.
Yeah.
Yeah. All right. I don't have anything else to say about Flash Gordon. New Jake, what's your score for this movie?
Oh my god, -10. But if it has to be a positive, like, just for the experience, at least a 5.
Yeah.
It's not a movie, but just the experience, just a 5.
All right, classic Jake.
4. But on the camp meter, it's I agree with New Jake, -10.
So, a trio of -10s.
That's a +0.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly.
Well, if you add -10 plus -10 plus -10, well, that is 10 out of 10.
Yeah.
That's still never.
No, wait, that's -30.
Trying to justify spending money to actually watch this.
I spent $35 for the 4K, and it still looked crap. Uh,
Oh man. Oh man.
Yeah, -30. -30 it is.
that's $35 my bank account.
Yeah.
Uh,
I mean, it's a good summer, end of summer, August movie to watch in the sun, kind of thing.
Well,
Yeah.
it's like if I want Black Widow, I got to come up with $100 to get a 3D copy.
that's what I'm doing. That's for another time. But
Yeah. I'm deciding.
it's
I'm
worth
it. There's a few countries that they haven't made it home video announcements yet.
it. Germany, India.
Yeah,
Australia.
so I'm waiting and saving so to make sure I have my $100 plus shipping.
Anyway, back to Flash Gordon. Do you think this movie would be good for kids?
No, absolutely not.
Depends on the kid.
Because, like, imagine, you know how sometimes parks, they would have a movie in the park and it's a free old movie that you watch, and it's not really about having a good movie, it's about having a community thing. Is this the kind of movie you do that or no?
No, because I think most kids would actually be bored with this.
Yeah, like a modern day child would be, this is dog shit.
Yeah, they would be bored. The effects would look terrible to them. The
Yeah.
music, the characters, the female characters would piss them off.
Yeah.
They would think it was dumb.
For
And
a
so-
midnight movie, absolutely.
Absolutely, yeah. Older teens, yeah, they would get into this. They
Yeah.
would enjoy it on the camp level, and
Oh,
they would make memes out of this like
Yeah.
crazy.
I'm surprised
This
it's
is the
not.
most memeable movie.
Yes.
I mean, this is like if you want to describe this movie in 2 words, oh lord.
Or the Tobey Maguire Spider-Man 2 face.
Yeah, I mean, that's surprisingly more memeable than the Flash Gordon movie, surprisingly.
Hmm. But yeah, if I was going to review this, I would actually just use that picture of Toby.
Yes.
That would be
Not
the
my
review.
experience.
Because I watched this movie as a kid, or not, like, I didn't watch all of it. I watched it flipping channels on cable, and I was like, what the hell is this? And I was like, okay, I don't know what these hawk people are doing flying over here, but sure. So
Yeah.
I don't know if that demented me or what, but
Yeah, I saw this in the theater, and I was like, damn, at least Zardos had a point.
because like
Yeah.
there's no nudity here. There's no bloodiness to it. So in theory, it could be a kids movie, but not really. They'll be bored. I think you're right.
Yeah, exactly. I mean, they would be bored.
I mean, if you want to see a 1930s comic book character done right, I would recommend Dick Tracy, a way better movie.
Yeah, or Doc Savage.
Or Doc Savage.
Even though it's campy, it's a
Yeah.
lot more meat on the bone.
Yeah, but I mean, like, Dick Tracy was just so good.
Hmm. Yeah, it's a lot better than its reputation. I think a lot of that has to do with people were hating on Madonna.
Yeah,
I've never seen Dick Tracy movie. I've kind of wanted to, so maybe next
it's
time.
really good. I mean, there's some equally goofy stuff, but I mean, it's so good.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah.
Warren Beatty knows how to direct a movie.
Oh,
And-
there's There's been a lot of good Dick Tracy stuff because Chester Gould, the creator of Dick Tracy, he kept an eye on the film stuff. And Chester Morgan and Ralph Bird both did really good versions of Tracy back in the day. And Warren Beatty is a good actor.
Yeah, and director.
Yeah, and he did respect the material.
Yeah.
All right, so I guess that's going to conclude this episode of the Movie Club podcast for fall or late summer of 2021. Now, we don't know for sure if we're going to do another one before the end of the year, the calendar year, just because we don't know if there's going to be a lot of movies coming out or not. The fall, it's either going to be really packed with movies or it's going to be really light with movies. We don't know yet. Things are scheduled to come out, but we don't know for sure if they're actually going to come out or not. Because
Adam's Family 2 will be the hit of the fall.
Because there's rumors that all these movies are going to get delayed, and if we get like a big avalanche of delays, and there's only like a trickle, like 2 or 3 movies that come out this whole fall because of COVID, then we'll have time to do another one. But I don't want to guarantee it one way or another. I guess I don't want to doom it. Say, oh, let's have another. If we'll see what happens.
If we do it, please let it be Masters of the Universe.
Well,
or Asmo.
Or Orgasmo.
So yeah, we did Spider-Man 2 for our patrons on Patreon, and next time New Jake will have to pick the one. I won't let you to that right now, but you should think it over if you want us to watch Dick Tracy or Masters of the Universe or something else not as flamboyantly gay.
I'll find even super gayer, I guess.
But I don't know what kind of movie.
Oh, I can think of gayer movies than Flash Gordon.
I mean, yes.
That Hollywood put out, not.
Mm-hmm.
Anyway, we'll see what happens if we get another one this year. Maybe, sort of. We'll just, hopefully, we don't need to fill time up and have another podcast, but we never know. It's such a weird time right now with COVID and Delta going up high, and there might be new variants that come out before the end of the year that ruin everything, make things worse. I don't know.
Just get shots, people. It's not that hard.
That's approved by the FDA. So, all right, guys. That's it for Movie Club for this time. Thank you all for listening. Bye.
Bye.
Before this podcast wraps up, I want to thank my patrons. Thank you, Kano3D, Mr. Bengal 5, and Kevin Winter for your financial support on Patreon.com. So that's going to be it for this podcast. Thanks for listening. You can find 3D or 2D on Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, Pinterest, Instagram, and more. Just look for 3D or 2D. Links are in the info box. If you want to send us listener mail, our email address is email3dortwo@gmail.com. Thank you for either listening or watching this podcast. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye, everyone.